All right, I'm excited. We're ready for some paint correction. So this is getting to the fun part for me. This is my favorite stage between this and the ceramic coating stage. It's just where you really start to see your results. You can feel it, you can see it, and I just love the process of it. So to bring you up to speed, did the decon wash already, did that step. Also did the iron remover. Hey hon, I'm filming.
Just make a TikTok?
Yeah. It's my daughter, for all of you who don't know. She's saying, no, she's shy being on the camera. Come say hi. It's my 14-year-old. Come say hi. She's laughing. So anyway, did the decon wash, did the iron remover, and then brought it in, did the clay bar. So the only other thing I did was I taped off the car around all the little rubberized edges on the, the doors and such, and the headlights. So it's time for paint correction. I'll go over my different polishers. This is my SK Pro Micro cordless from Adams. This is a really cool little tool, 1-inch backing plate. And I have these 1-inch compounding pads from Adams. So I'm just gonna stick that on there actually. And then when I get to the finishing stage of the polish, I have some different pads. But yeah, these are cool. So that works really great. Stepping up next is I have my SK Pro Mini, which is a 3-inch backing plate. You might hear my daughter, she's laughing right there, because she's shy, she don't want to be in the camera. I'm trying to get her on. She's 14. So if you watch me washing the Jetta, I keep saying I'm gonna make her drive the Jetta, it's gonna be her car in a year, and she keeps telling me no way she's not driving it, but kids these days need all the nice stuff, I guess. So this is a 3-inch plate. This might be my favorite machine just because of the size and just using it. Then I have these Lake Country pads. So these are some light correcting pads. I'm not using microfiber pads only because the car is not that bad, really. So I'm going to use these correcting pads and then finishing pads on the finishing stage. So same thing here, and I just center that on, and there you go. To go along with that, I do have an SK Pro 5mm backing plate on this Adams polisher. Same thing with the 5-inch pads. What I really like about these two that Adams did is maybe my favorite feature about them. They have some pretty good polishers for the money, really. But the cord, you can see the cord on each end right there. It uses the same cord. So I have a 25-foot cord I plug in, and I don't have to plug another cord in to then switch polishers. So that's nice. I could just unplug and plug that in. But the best and favorite baby that I have is the Rupes Bigfoot LHR Mark II, I believe. Sad, I can't remember if it's a Mark II or 3. I was given this by the guy, and it's the LHR Mark III. That's what it is. So this is like the cream of the crop, of polishers. And I was given this by my buddy Greg, who I did his C8 Corvette, and he gave me this as a gift for doing it. So what's cool is I never got to use the Adams one yet because I had ordered it, and then he gave me this one. So I may play around today and use both and maybe kind of give you a comparison. But this thing's awesome, naturally. The polish I'm using, Just Car Correction Compound, so that'll be our stage 1. This is a pretty good cutting compound here. So I'm going to use that. Then I just have a few towels, and I bring my little cart around, a couple of lower GSM towels, 300 and then 350, just to remove the polish. So I'm going to get the camera set up, and let's start in the hood. I can show you some stuff there. All right, so I'm excited about it. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Adams SK Pro, and I have my Lake Country pad I put on there. I also didn't show you guys, I use this Scan Grip inspection light just to check. So it has 2 levels. You press a little button on the back, has a magnet on the bottom where you can stick it to things. So I stick it on my little detail cart. But got this through Obsessed Garage. It's a cool little light right here. But you click it once, and it'll have one temperature. You click it twice, and it's brighter. On gray, you can kind of play with it to see. You put it at certain angles, you get to see little imperfections. I've kept this cart pretty good, and the paint's pretty good. It's not all that bad from the factory. All right, so shake up my polish. So what I kind of like to do is start on a little bit slower speed. I don't go too fast with the correcting compound. I kind of just let it work on like a medium speed. So this polisher goes up to 6. So I'm probably gonna work on between 3 and 4, or maybe 2 and 4. You know, start it on 2, bump up to 4 maybe, and just work the polish in. And I'm gonna do sections at a time. So probably about 4 sections for the hood, roughly divided into 4. So what I'll do to start is I always put about 4 pea-sized drops. I got a little bit on the bottle there. And I put the cord over my shoulder just to keep it off the car. So before I start, I kind of just smear it around a little bit. Now, I don't know if it really matters, but this Adams polisher has a light on it. I don't know if you can tell right there, on and off, to where it shines an LED on there, so you can kind of see where you're going, I guess. I mean, it's not necessary, but I guess it's all right. So I'm gonna start working this polish in, and then I'll kick up the speed. This is the very first time I use this SK Pro, and it really does feel pretty nice. And I can tell you already that probably the really big difference between this and like the Rupes is just that Rupes is so balanced. This one has more vibration. So let's kick up to, that was speed 2, let's go to 4. So I mean, initially the light's kind of pointless because it's shining not even where you're polishing. Let's kick that off. I did put some gloves on, just because as this polish kind of gets all over your hands. Kind of dries them out. But look, if you don't want to spend the money on the Rupes, sorry if it's loud, but this is probably around 300 bucks. At Rupes is closer to 500. This is a good option if you just don't have the budget or you want to wait. I'm going to go one more pass and then we're going to wipe it off. I kind of let it come to a stop just about on the paint because if you lift off too early, it's going to sling everywhere. You know, you have polish slinging all over the place. So let me sit that down, and let's see how it moves with the 350 GSM. So I have a section here of the polish, if you can see just the difference. So both this and the finishing polish just this really just does such a good job. I mean, they just wipe off both pretty easy. This you could almost use as a single stage. It's so good. But that finishing polish just really gives it that extra gloss and a nice kick. So I could almost see where I finished. I know you can't on the camera, but this is See, like this is undone, I can tell, and this is like super slick already. And I'm using a new finishing polish this time. So I'm excited about that too. So let me get my light, see if I can tell where I stopped. Yeah, see, so you can't see in the camera, but I can kind of tell where I stopped. And just the difference in it. I can see a line there. It's like right across here, and it curves. Yeah, I could see little like imperfections there. Just nothing you can see on camera, and over here it looks great. So I think what I'm going to immediately do is, since I just used it, I'm going to flip to the Rupes. I'm just going to put the pad on that one, and then you get to see a good back-to-back. I'll do like this section in the front, right here. But what I need to do is unplug the Adams and then plug that one in. All right, so now I got the Rupes hooked up. Again, 6 speeds on this one. I mean, I'm pretty sure Adams probably tried to copy off of Rupes for this. So we're gonna do same thing, speed 2 and then speed 4. All I did was swap the pad and put it on here. So it's getting a little, sorry, my cord is caught on my mic. All right, again, just getting my 4 pea-sized drops. And we'll do this front section, so I'm just going to kind of smear it around a little bit again. And let's get going. So I'm just working it in on speed 2, kind of spreading it around. I can tell you already this thing vibrates way less. It almost one hand, this one. It's so, it's just so balanced. Let's go to speed 4 now. The Adams might have a little more power. Maybe, I don't know the specs on them. For the motors. What I may do to get a really good feel is, like, I might do the rest of the car with the Adams, and then when I do the finishing polish, just use the Rupes along the way, but I guess that's not really fair because I need to use the other smaller polishers, which are only Adams, or both. This one has a button kind of like a cruise control. You don't have to hold the trigger down. I didn't even see on the Adams that they had that. All right. Quick pass, it'll be done. All right. and the polisher. Both of them are kind of loud, so hope you can hear me okay on the, through the mic. Yeah, some good results for both. I mean, if you got the money to spend, you get the Rupes, but it's really not that big of a difference. I really do like the Atoms as well. I like the Rupes better, but if you're on the fence and you don't want to spend the money, you'll be satisfied with the Atoms. All right. So, I mean, you probably can't really tell the difference in the camera. I mean, I could feel the difference, but this entire side of the hood is done and not that side. So I'm gonna hit that side and start working the rest of the car. What I'll probably do is hood, roof, trunk deck lid, and then I'll start down the sides, working my way down, kind of top to bottom. Between the polisher, the pad, the polish is really such a great combo. It works so well. So the key to a good ceramic coating and making that last is all the prep work. It's all the work you do before you actually coat, and that's why it takes 30 hours to do. So if someone is, if there's a professional detailer out there that's gonna charge you 300 bucks or even 800 bucks or 1,000 bucks, I would say, to professionally ceramic coat your car, man, I would say run for the hills, because the amount of time and work for 300 bucks, the coating itself, just that I think is more than 300 bucks just to do between materials and labor. The coating that I buy is you're going to spend somewhere around 180 bucks just for the materials, and that's just the coating. But the amount of work that it takes to put into prep to get the paint right to ceramic coat, that's the work. So if somebody's going to charge you 300 bucks, they're definitely not putting the work in. Just a word to the wise, just some advice and things I hear out there. All right, a couple other quick tips for polishing. So to make sure that your polisher feels balanced the most, naturally you want to make sure that you center the pad as best as possible on the backing plate. So this one, the edge comes over just a little bit, but if your pad is off-centered, you're going to feel more vibration and rotation and kind of wobbly, if that makes sense. And then on the backing plate itself, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to come over here. So I mentioned this before, so I put a little black line right there with a Sharpie. If you can see that, if my camera will focus right. So this black line was not there before. I just put it there with a Sharpie. And what happens is while it's rotating, I can see that black line. And if that black line is not rotating while I'm using it, that means it's stalling out. And I'm not actually working the polish in. So as long as it's blurry, I guess, or going, then I know the polish is working. So someone just told me that as a little beginner's tip a long time ago. Saw it online somewhere. I don't remember where, but I've always done that, and I like it. It's just kind of a good little tip. All right, so I'm gonna wipe this off. Hood is done. Just a slight amount of dust on the windshield. It's to be expected, but it's so minimal. It's probably going to take me a couple of these pads because the pads do get a little clogged. I might use 6 to 8 pads total between all three of the sizes to do the whole car. Yes, this looks awesome. All right, so next I'm going to do the roof, the carbon fiber roof, and I'm going to do the trunk deck lid on top. not the spoiler because it's so small. I'm gonna save that for my smaller polisher. And I'll come back and we'll talk more down the sides of the car and the rest of stage 1 in paint correction. All right, finished up the hood, roof, and trunk deck lid. Got the 3-inch backing plate Adams SK Pro Mini. This might be my favorite polisher, just the size and just being able to work it different places. I am trying something a little different than I showed earlier. I showed the Lake Country pad, which I have. I also have these Griot's Garage correcting pads. I also have some finishing pads. Just hadn't tried them, so I wanted to try them. These feel pretty quality as well. I like them and they fit well on the polisher. Got them on Amazon. So I'm gonna start with the front fender here. I'm gonna work on the doors, go around, I'll do the front and rear, and then I'm gonna come after with the micro and do all these little things, the mirrors, side skirts, etc. Just everything I couldn't get with this one. So let's get at it. Now this one, the other one had a trigger to start way back here, over here. This one has this side button that you push forward and click to turn off. Your speeds on this one are back here. Same thing 1 through 6. So I'm gonna do a 2 and then a 4. Probably should have turned it where you can see back here a little bit. And use the same power cord, which I like. No light on this one, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm not concerned about that. And you see the line I put on the backing plate. All right, so let me get some Just Car. This one I'll do 3. All right, let's get it spread around. This one's just so small and lighter, I can really contour it better, you know, different angles and smaller areas. That's what I like. Let's do it. This pad feels just a little harder than the Lake Country pad. Lake Country pad is kind of like a light correcting foam pad. This one's a little bit more of just a regular standard correcting foam pad. And pick up the speed. All right, that section done. I'll do this section and then I'll wipe. All right, I'm gonna come up close because I'm gonna correct the painted, oh Lord, I'm drawing a blank. It's the black painted pillars here. These things scratch up so easy on every single vehicle. And just trying to see if you can see some imperfections there. Let me get my light because that may help you to see. Oh yeah, you see the swirls in there? Look at that. So I'm going to use my 3-inch to correct this. So I'll bring this kind of out of the way. You'll see me polish it, and then I'll come back up and inspect the light again so you can see, and then later do the finishing polish on it. But this 3-inch is perfect for this area right here. All right, it's the same process. And the only thing I may end up PPFing at some point is these, just to keep them perfect, because I mean, the second you touch them, they scratch. So let me just move this all around in here first. You definitely want to tape off for these because the polish is going to get in between there on all the plastic. I'm not the plastic, the rubber. So start it up. This on speed 2. Just to work it in. Pick it up. Again, not a lot of pressure, just letting that polish do its thing. Letting the polisher work. Letting the polish work. Letting the pad work. And it should come out really good. All right, let's wipe it off and inspect. See how we did. Now I'm going to try and wipe lightly because any kind of pressure will just scratch these things all over again. It seems like every vehicle, I'm not sure what it is or why these just scratch up so bad, so easily. Just from like your fingers and stuff, just closing the door. Especially my kids close the door a lot. All right, right there, so let's see. So we're better. I still see some swirls in there, it's much better. Oh, sorry if I was covering the camera. Trying to get you some good shots there. So you can still see some swirls in there. It's not as bad. It's definitely better, but that could be just from me wiping it off. It's so hard to get this stuff perfect, and it's a little hazy. It's going to work better with the finishing polish. So I think I'm going to make one more quick pass on it just to make sure, and then hopefully the finishing polish will get it, you know, by far better. And it may not, you know, something like this you might not be able to get 100%. It's flat black. It's just hard, man. It's just this type of material or whatever it is. Wipe it one more time. I'm trying to wipe it so softly, but I mean, you gotta wipe the polish off. That's the tough part. I mean, without the light on it, it looks great. And I think once I use the finishing polish, it's gonna really, really clean it up. Let's check it out one more time. So it's not bad. It just has that haze to it. So I'm gonna leave it right there, and then let's look at it once we finish up and come back with the finishing polish. Then I think we're really gonna be able to tell, you know, how much it actually is there, you know, in comparison to 100%. All right, we are moving right along. So I completely did the other side of the car. And you may have noticed that I switched from the 3-inch back to the 5-inch. Just that it was taking a little time. You know, like see like these panels here. I could do it with the 3-inch, but the 5-inch just makes it go a little quicker and cover a little more area. And I could still get, you know, this curvature here, okay. So I didn't touch anything on the bottom side skirts on the other side. So I'm gonna do everything from the tail light here all the way down. I may not do the front fender with the 5-inch, but I'm gonna do at least these 3 pieces right here. So it just speeds it up a little bit. Then I'll switch back to the 3-inch. I didn't do the back yet of the car, and then I'll do the back and the front last. And then all the little fine details with the micro polisher. So let's get it going. that's gonna be a wrap for stage 1 of paint correction. I got everything. See a little overspray here, some splatter. Not a big deal. So next we're gonna be moving on to stage 2, which is the finishing polish. So we'll knock that out tomorrow. I don't know, for today it's about midnight, so I'm gonna get some rest and just pick up my little bit of things here for tonight. But pleased so far. It's been good, it's been fun. So I hope you're enjoying it and following along. And I'm gonna be back on the next episode tomorrow for me, but not tomorrow for you because I have to edit these things. So, all right, see you in a few days, but we're gonna take it to the next step. Thanks for watching.